This is the best moments of the BBQ Central Show in 10 minutes or less. Ever wish you could re-listen to your favorite interview or segment? Do you enjoy hearing older shows for the first time in years? Then the best moments of the BBQ Central Show in 10 minutes or less is just what you need. Thanks for listening and enjoy the show.
Greetings, everyone. Welcome to episode 85 of the best moments of the BBQ Central Show in 10 minutes or less. Today's show comes from August 11, 2015. It is a doubleheader with Chris Becker of CookinPellets.com. Chris is a great guest as well as a longtime sponsor of the BBQ Central Show. So let's get into it. Here is Greg and Chris from August 11, 2015.
Joining me now, somebody who is steeped deeply in the business and artistry of making wood pellets for sale for your wood-fired and your pellet-fired cooker, and a longtime sponsor of this show now, Chris Becker from CookinPellets.com. Chris, how are you, buddy?
Good. How are you, buddy?
Absolutely fabulous, Chris. Appreciate you making time for the show here. I mean, you've been one busy cat. I think I've been trying to have you on the show like for the past 7-8 months. So what is going on with CookinPellets.com and your warehouse and your manufacturing and all that stuff?
Oh my gosh, I got to tell you, in a quick, we've been busy. First, thanks for the time. I really do appreciate it, Greg.
Absolutely.
And awesome as always to be on with you. And I got to tell you two things. We're looking at a Green Mountain right now. We test every grill we can. Tested one I think 6 years ago, and we're going to test that small little one. We haven't done it yet, but for what it's worth, we're going to test one and put it through its paces in our test area, which I like to call my patio.
Yeah,
but something different. Anyway, we've just been busy. We actually moved out of one facility. We bought a new facility, 25,000 square foot. At any one time, we got about 750,000 pounds of pellets on the floor, ready to push out the door. So we're trying to take we're just trying to take the world by pellet storm, so to speak. So
are all those pellets in the warehouse already palletized and wrapped and just ready to go on tractor trailers and head out to destinations unknown?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, the crossover between us finding the building, getting the building, doing, you got to rehab a little. 100 years old. It's got a very cool history. Solid as a rock, brick walls that are like 18 inches thick. And I mean, it's a very cool, clear span building, if you get into buildings. But we just, from start B or point B, it gets very busy and hard to make time to do anything other than like work. So, one, I'm glad to be here, like I said, but those pellets, they're all palletized, ready to ship out to our, zillion dealers across the U.S. and Canada, soon to be overseas. And, the one thing I did want to mention is we just redid the website, which you've probably seen. We upgraded that, and we're going through some more upgrades right now to make it easier for people. And the one problem that's always been a problem for our customer base is the cost of freight. And you know that as well as anybody.
Always.
Pellets and freight just do not get along. And we kind of partnered up. We've gotten more dealers on board, which they can always go to our website, which you're showing now, and go to our dealer page, and you see all the dealers around. But if you don't have a dealer by you, we partnered up with Amazon. And Amazon is really got some of the best prices lately than I have seen in a long time. And they kind of sometimes they blow it out and sometimes they don't. But all in all, if anybody that has ever been on Amazon, if you spend over $35, you get free shipping. So generally, you can get 2 bags off of Amazon really stinking cheap. And all you do is just do a search for Cookin Pellets on the Amazon search thing, and our stuff will come up. And along with the new website is I can see it there. Very cool, by the way. Yeah. I like that.
Very top of the notch.
Yeah, thanks. We added some new clothing lines, just added some bacon rubs. Bacon's really big, and we just got a line of rubs in. And I don't know if you've ever used a rub on bacon.
No.
But, oh my gosh, let me tell you something.
So you're taking out like regular bacon, and then you're adding a rub onto bacon.
Yes. Yeah, I like the Asian that we have. We also have a pepper, actually. I kind of dig both of them, but just look at the link on the website. But they have the pepper's really good. But yeah, just raw bacon. You put the rub on there. There you go. You put the rub on it, and you put it in the pellet grill. I use racks, like cooling racks my wife has for muffins and stuff.
Yeah.
And I just lay it across there, and I let her cook it like 225 for a couple hours and I like it crispy, so good and crispy. But oh my gosh, talk about candy!
Pig candy, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's what it is. It's awesome. So let's see what else is new. We actually are just finalizing a line of dip mixes. I know that may seem odd, but like, everybody seems to have their own sauce and seasonings and stuff out there, and I'm a nosher before noshing. I like to get my hands in a pile of dip and salsa and chips and Fritos and whatever else I can get my fat digits onto, and we had been using a bunch of the same ones we've loved forever, and we're like, well, why aren't we offering this stuff? So we're going to start with our 4 really popular ones that everybody seems to love, and no salt, no MSG, all natural, no preservatives in it. The stuff is really awesome. But so that's to come. You'll see that within the next probably month.
And these are recipes that you're making and packaging, legally through years, or are you partnering with somebody to bring them to the website?
No. They're actually, believe it or not, legally they're ours. It's a bulk blend, and then we package it down, and not that we don't have enough to do, but it's stupidity at its best. But we just found that so many people, and actually you can use this stuff. Like, here, example, we have a garlic. We call it a garlic. And it is so garlicky, it's ridiculous. And you just take the package, you put it with a cup of mayonnaise and a cup of sour cream, you mix it, you let it sit for, 20 minutes, and then it's awesome. And if you want to make a garlic burger, you take like a teaspoon of the same mix, dry mix, and you put it inside the center of a burger, put it on a pellet grill, and you let it cook out, and the juices get the dehydrated garlic in it, and now you got an awesome garlic burger. So, you can use it on anything. All this stuff is for both ends. You can use it as seasoning, or, put a kick on something, or just use it for a good dip. But anyway, I digress.
Yeah, but and pellets are still the run of the day here. So
they are.
As we talk about pellets, I guess, for somebody that might be listening to the show for the first time, or they're thinking about making that foray from a Weber bullet style or a Brinkman or something and going into a pellet cooker. Talk to us a little bit about pellets, kind of school us a little bit on how they're made, and of course, why Cookin pellets are the ones you would probably want to reach for first before anything else out there.
Sure. In simplistic value is pellets, we use heartwoods. And we take that heartwood, we chip it down, then it goes through a hammer mill, which is a machine that turns it basically into sawdust. And then it goes into a pellet mill, which takes that sawdust and compresses it under, 20 ton of pressure. So creates a little bit of heat, around 180, 190 degrees. And when that happens, this is where the magic happens. There's a product in all wood called lignin with pine and Douglas fir. It kind of looks like sap, but when it's in harder woods, it's called lignin, and it's an actual natural binder. That's what kind of keeps it all together while it's growing and everything. So when it's not growing and it's dead, then the lignin's still there. So under heat and pressure, the lignin comes out, turns into a natural binder, and when the pellet goes through the other side of the die, because it's a push-through die, it ends up solidifying instantly. So when you look at a pellet and you see it's got a little bit of a shine on it, that's actually the outer shine of the lignin holding it all together. And that lignin is throughout. So that simplistic version, that's it. And then we let it cool down, goes through a mill, goes in a big carboy thing, and fills it up, and then we put it through the weigh machine and bagger, the auto bagger, and then we make pallets out of it. The difference between ours and everybody else, and you know what, I will sit here and tell you, I am not going to knock other people's pellets, but I've always told everybody, if you can find a pellet that's at a fair price that you really like, that's the pellet you should be buying.
To put in your request for a future show, please contact John Solberg via email at johnjon@thebbqcentralshow.com.
There we go. Got a request for a show? Let me know. John, Jon, John, at thebbqcentralshow.com. And at the very least, do me a favor. Subscribe to the Barbecue Central Show on your favorite social media platform. It is at BBQ Central Show on Instagram and Twitter, /BBQ Central Show on Facebook. You can't go wrong following the big show. Go do it now. I'll wait for you. I'll wait. Well, maybe I won't. Here we go. Segment 2 coming at you.
I will sit here and tell you, I am not going to knock other people's pellets, but I've always told everybody, if you can find a pellet that's at a fair price that you really like, that's the pellet you should be buying. I mean, of course, I'm going to tell you, I think our pellet is great. We use heartwoods. We don't use any bark in our stuff. I'm not casting anything bad to anybody that uses that. We choose not to because it makes a pellet that's good for us. We don't use any kind of oaks or alders that some other companies use for filler woods, and that's because when I got into this, I was a pellet user before I was a maker, and I found there wasn't enough flavor. So that's why we started doing it, because we needed a premium pellet that I couldn't find, and that's kind of where we're at.
Let me ask you about that, Chris, because when I've talked to the other guys that, we'll use the 2/3 oak and the 1/3 flavor wood, and that's what you get in your apple pellet or your cherry pellet or whatever. That's the standard recipe. And the way it is explained to me is, well, we use the 2/3 oak because the oak is kind of an indiscriminate smoke, but it gives you the BTUs you need for the heat. And then we put in the 1/3 of the flavor wood to give you whatever flavor you're looking for. Do you not find that to be the case? Can you run, a cherry pellet at 100% or a hickory pellet at 100% and not risk like an underheat type of a situation then?
What we found is most of the woods, if it's a hardwood, it's going to give you the BTU value. But, and this is a true statement, the oak and the alder will net you a higher BTU. But, here's a big but, it's not necessarily always the pellet that is the fault of low heat. Right now we have a few grills in the backyard. One of them I have my original Traeger. I can't get it over 425 with our pellets. But the Traeger, and not knocking it, is not a heavy thermal mass as some other grills. Like a Cook Shack is a pretty thick, nice insulated thermal mass. So it holds its retention heat to get it to a higher level. I have a black olive on the deck, which is like a Komodo style. So, it's a
ceramic style.
Ceramic grill, but it's pellet fed. I can get 610 degrees with that.
Wow.
On our pellets. So it's two things. One, if you have an entry level grill, and it's not a bad thing that you do, that's great, and everybody has to start somewhere. If you have an entry level grill and you use our pellets, you're not going to get up to 500 degrees. I guarantee you. Personally, once people start getting into it, I don't think most people get over, and I'm not saying everybody, but a lot of people I know, personally myself, we don't go over 350. Even with a steak, I'd rather have that light, nice bit of smoke flavor, or a pizza. If you do, I'm sure you do pizza if you put it on.
Oh, yeah.
I only set our grill at like 350, and I let it cook about 6 or 8 minutes longer. I still get the great crisp, but I got a nice light smoke flavor. And that's really the awesome part of what we're using on a pellet grill. So,
Chris Becker joining me here on the show. He is the founder and overall purveyor, presidente of cookinpellets.com. That's COOKIN pellets, cookinpellets.com. As you had mentioned at the top of the interview, you can also go to Amazon.com and search Cookin' Pellets. When you mentioned some days are blowing them out and some days they aren't, any idea, what days trigger their blow-outedness versus the others?
I got to tell you, we can't figure it out. We've actually been dealing with them for 2 years, and we're stymied. I mean, I didn't check it today. I probably should have. But to get back to your question, we usually check it every day, and for some reason, they're generally around $31 to $33 a bag. What I was told by the Amazon gurus is that occasionally their algorithms will go to a peak high and then to a drop, and it's just to influx sales. Which, of course, I don't mind because we don't sell on Amazon. We sell to Amazon, but there's no rhyme or reason. Honestly, I don't know. It's purple outside and the pellets go low. I have no idea.
Was that purple outside? Was it a very difficult process to get on board with Amazon, or was it fairly pain-free? Because I'm sure a lot of people that have, rubs and sauces and other such whatnot might be thinking that they want to always look to kind of bring the retail thing to a different level, and I would assume that many people assimilate getting on with Amazon as taking that next step. But have you found the case, and was it a problem getting it on with them originally?
Yeah, it's a huge problem. I could write a book.
Yeah. Soon to be on the store, right?
Let me tell you how to get on Amazon and hope that you don't pull your hair out in the process.
Wow.
It is not easy. It is actually by invite only. I got to tell you, I am not sure exactly how we weathered through the mess, but there's a lot of looking and not looking and peeking around a corner and seeing. And for us, I tried asking why we were allowed in, and it was more like, don't ask, don't see, you just push it off, just leave it alone. And, it's just the one time I can tell you it's not what I knew or who I knew. It's, and I don't think it was dumb luck. There was a lot of paperwork. We do have a contract with them. And trust me, at any certain day, they could flip a switch and go, see you later, Bob, down the street. And, we're done. But that's okay. I mean, we don't put all our eggs in one basket, and we're growing our dealer network, and they just help us to support where dealers can't. And we still have a lot of people that live by dealers that don't buy from Amazon or drive to our dealers at Amazon may be easier, but only because, people want stuff now.
Yep.
But for those that can't get it now, that's why Amazon's a good thing. But, yeah, it's a very arduous task. It is not by any means.
Chris Becker joining me here on the show. CookinPellets.com. That's COOKIN Pellets. CookinPellets.com. Chris, anything else before I let you go tonight?
Greg, no, but I appreciate the time. You guys, it's always a blast being on with you, and Barbecue Central's awesome to partner with, and we really appreciate it. And moving forward, all I can say is go Pellets. Oh, I have to say hi to my daughter because she's watching and listening right now.
Yeah, what's her name?
Annika.
Shout out. I never say shout out, but I'm going to say shout out just for Chris.
Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it very much.
All right, take care. There he is, Chris Becker from CookinPellets.com.
Yes, it was Chris Becker from CookinPellets.com and Greg Rempe from the Really Big Barbecue Central Show. Reminds me I need to head over to CookinPellets.com and get me an order in. I am getting a little low. You can do that too. Head over to the Barbecue Central Show, and there's actually a link that will take you to CookinPellets.com. And there are also all of the ways that you can subscribe to the Barbecue Central Show via podcast. Imagine that. Do us all a favor. Subscribe to the Barbecue Central Show via podcast and never miss an episode of this show or the Really Big Barbecue Show again. Thank you so much for checking out episode 85 of The Best Moments. Until next time, I'm your host, John Solberg. I look forward to talking to you again soon.